Good morning. It's 7:04 on this Thursday, November 6th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on a Thursday. The sun is shining. It's going to be a tremendous day, and we're glad to have you with us. Each Thursday at this time, we are on the air for Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat. And our usual tour with us this morning, Paul Tubbs, Dealer Operations Manager, and Ronnie Kelly, Community Customer Relations and in sales for 38 years. Paul, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. And Ronnie Kelly?
Good morning.
Morning to you. It's pretty nice out there today.
Real nice.
But according to the extended, well, not too extended forecast, it's not going to stay this way.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I think some people that are going to be playing football tomorrow night, a few have moved their game to tonight, but Lebanon Riverdale game is on as per announced earlier, and that's a big game, of course. Well, Paul. You have a lot going for you at Bates Ford, and we want to talk about that.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. Our inventory right now on our new vehicles, we've got a lot of rebates. What Ford does generally towards later in the year is they try to apply rebates to new vehicles where you can get money off of that vehicle so they can get rid of that year's inventory and then get others. So a lot of times people will take advantage of that. You know, we've got F-150s, Broncos, several vehicle lines that's got rebates. So one of the things we don't discuss a lot is our website, and we have all of our new vehicles priced on our website. It even applies the rebates and stuff onto that. So if you can look at www.tonybatesford.com, and if you're looking for a new Ford vehicle, that's a great place to look. You can look. It'll show you your rebates. It'll show you, what you're getting off of the vehicle, and it'll actually show you the sale price. Plus, it's always plus tax, title, and license.
And Ronnie, you encourage that as well, no doubt.
Right, and we have plenty of inventory on, especially on new. I've seen 3 trucks came in this week, and they unloaded all, so we in a great shape.
You still like those trucks?
Yes, there's F-150.
Especially the 150.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'd like to put a plug in for the Lions Club on the pecan sales.
All right.
We hope that people would go out and buy those pecans.
Well, I don't think we have any at Bates Ford, but we've got them in a lot of locations. A lot of businesses help us do that, and appreciate the plug there, but they are here. That is true. Well, what else is going on? The service that you offer people, and I think that's something you pride yourself on tremendously.
Yeah, that was like I said, that's one of the main reasons we moved from our 1673, and believe me, nobody didn't like it any worse than me. My house is back there in Farmington, right behind the dealership, so I could go right home and get back. Now I got to kind of go across town, and it's a little longer travel, but I think it could be worse. But, our service department is almost twice as big. We've doubled our technicians. We're getting work in and out quicker. We had a phenomenal month last month in service, but, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is we do turn work over really fast. If you need oil change, brakes, tires, battery, that's something that we do. We've got 10 guys that does it on the spot. Something else that we're very proud of is our complimentary pickup and delivery, where Ford will, they have a program where we'll come get your vehicle for free. We can only do it in a certain mile limitation. We can't go 50, 60 miles to get a vehicle because we have certain amounts scheduled per day. We go about 15 to 20 miles around our location of our dealership. We'll come get your vehicle free of charge. There's a little text message system, says we're on the way, says we're here. When it gets back to the dealer, it'll send you a text, let you know the vehicle's here. And then when we're leaving, it'll also, you can pay for it over the phone. And it's really, really helped our service department. Plus, it's helped people with their time. People are so busy with stuff on Saturdays, whether it's ball, football, baseball, whatever. You have time that you can actually get your vehicle serviced. I had a friend of mine that's a local judge's wife text me yesterday and said, hey, can you put me on your schedule? And actually, we was able to do it yesterday. So we actually went and got her vehicle and serviced it and took it back to her, and she sent me a text, hey, this is great, I really appreciate it. So it's a really good service.
If people call fairly early in the morning, you usually get to them that day?
Depending on our schedule, just, and kind of crazy. Last month we was the busiest and really busy, and then this month it's kind of, I don't know if it's because of things slowed down, but we're not near as busy right now. So actually we was able to help her same day and get it all done. Sometimes we can do same day, and sometimes, hey, it might be tomorrow or the next day, but we'll get you on the schedule and certainly get it done as quick as possible.
Well, Ronnie, I know that when people come in and have work done on their car and the inspection that he'll probably talk about before we leave this morning, if they find a few things wrong, and sometimes people decide, well, maybe it's just time I got better transportation. That's kind of where you come in.
Right, that's where I come in, and that's the great thing. A lot of times we have a lot of people that does come in for oil changes, and sometimes they'll go back and look, they say, what can I trade for? I need to trade that vehicle. And that's a great thing, but if you have anything that you want to turn into cash, bring it down to Bates Ford, because we are the dealer that would trade for anything that don't eat.
All right, well, let's talk quickly about batteries and tires and oil changes.
Yeah, $39.95, and I always say it's a conventional oil change. Certain vehicle lines we can't do that takes full synthetic. That's a lot more expensive oil change. When we do an oil change at Bates Ford, we don't just slap oil and filter, send you on our way. We do a full inspection. We call it a multi-point inspection. It's kind of like a stoplight where if everything's green, you're good. If it's yellow, we'll tell you you've got future concerns. And then if it's red, we'll come to you and say, hey, you need brakes, tires, or battery. We measure every brake pad. We measure every tire. We look up and test your battery. We'll give you a battery test slip when we service your vehicle. We'll give you the brake measurement, the tire measurement. So when you come in, we'll do that. Also, we do tires right now. Ford's got several lines of tires where they have rebates on tires. There's some rebates on tires up to $100. You buy 4 tires, you get $100 back. They'll send you a little gift card in the mail directly from Ford. And also on our brake special, we do a brake special $199.95. That includes parts and labor for free installation.
Well, you got all this going for you, and Ronnie will give you the last word quickly here.
Okay, and remember, come on down to Bates Ford and see one of our friendly sales staff, because sometimes we have special rebates, and they'll look up your name and make sure and give you that rebate that you're supposed to get.
Oh, that's great. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, the dealer to trade for anything you don't eat. See you all next Thursday.
Thank you.
All right. We are about 10 and a half minutes after the hour, and here on this Thursday, most first Thursdays of the month, when I can, feature a member of the Lebanon City Council. It doesn't always work out, but it has today, and we're delighted to have Ward 6 Councilor Phil Moorhead here, and good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
You were here before I was this morning. Traffic was backed up on Hartsville Pike again, pretty good ways, but made it on time. I'm rarely late, but sometimes I'm not very early.
Well, I was a salesman in my previous life, so to be, on time is 10 minutes early, so that you were never late for a customer.
Well, I want to get to Tuesday's City Council meeting, and I guess we can just start there, because there was somewhat of a controversial zoning code issue that came up, and some of the way things were done was a little bit usual, in that you had some people abstaining rather than voting yes or no, and you were there and a part of it, and you can the mayor talked extensively about it yesterday, and not only that, he had even sent out and what do you call this? He had sent out a directive for immediate release after the meeting Tuesday night, and explaining what had happened in his position. You were one of those who were, I think, for the limitation on some of these buildings, or at least, as I understand it, it was going to require people to tell what a warehouse was being built for, the purpose for it, what was intended use, and that didn't happen. So take it from there, if you will.
Really, we had as the mayor said yesterday, this has been going on long before I even got on city council, but in the last few months, we've had a few work sessions. We talked about the zoning code, and as he mentioned yesterday, it's a 600 to 800 page living document. But the industrial was the real hang-up. A lot of people who own industrial buildings in the city of Lebanon and have bought property within the city limits that was owned industrial were afraid that with this new zoning code, instead of just everything lumped into industrial zoning, there was going to be, for a vehicle storage, light warehousing and then heavy industrial. So they were afraid we were going to take away some of their uses. And at the last work session that we had, it was pretty obvious that there was not going to be enough votes really to probably agree on anything, because there was enough people that already have buildings in town and bought those in good faith that they were able to use them as a warehouse, or have bought property in the city that, and have done spent a lot of money and a lot of time investing trying to get people to come there. So what I did the night of council, I had talked to Kristen Rice, who's executive director over the planning and that, and she gave me the wording for an amendment basically that said, if you have an existing building in the city limits, or if you have purchased land with the industrial zoning, you would be grandfathered. So this new zoning would not apply to anybody who already has property or has a building. It would only apply if you now buy land or you want to become annexed in the city. Any new thing going forward, this would apply to. Mm-hmm. I thought that was very fair, but I think what happened at council was because that really hadn't been discussed. The last session we had, people were torn whether it should apply to vacant land, should it apply just to buildings, or should it apply to nobody, grandfathering. So I think maybe because it was last minute when I brought that to the floor, because not everybody knew all the details, maybe that's why I got shot down. And then, as you're aware, Joey then amended the motion to just say, we're going to strip out all the new industrial code and revert back to the existing industrial code, which I don't think was quite right. I believe there are some stronger standards for building in the new code. I think for new properties coming in, I like the idea of having the 3 different classifications so you know what you're getting, as opposed to if you come in under the current zoning under industrial, you can be a lot of things. And as the mayor mentioned yesterday, there is millions and millions of square feet of warehouse that have not been built yet. In my ward alone, at the intersection of 109 and 70, there's going to be approximately 3 million square feet that has been approved, that was annexed into the city in 1999. They haven't broke ground yet. Just went through planning in the last month or so. So whether people like it or not, there's going to be 7 buildings, 3 million square feet or more of space that's going up that's just going to be warehouse. So that's going to take up hundreds of acres of property and really provide very little tax to the city other than property tax and very few jobs. And my thought was, going forward, if there's going to be manufacturing, I'd like it to bring jobs that people could actually live here, work here, shop here, and become more invested in the city.
Yeah. All right, just another thing or two to discuss on this, but it's time for us to take a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Bates Ford. Get a battery installed in most vehicles. $199.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's been slow go this morning. 24 eastbound, trying to get past Whites Creek Pike. They are in the Jolton area as they clean up that accident. It jammed up all that traffic that's trying to get through there, coming in from Clarksville as well. 24 east, still a little bit slow there up by the Jolton exit. It's heavy traffic, and it's slow. 65 south down through Millersville at the 101 mile marker. A little extra time coming down from the north. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car, big truck, make sure you call STR Towing and Recovery right here in Middle Tennessee. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hi folks, Mark Noble here, General Manager at Cedar City RV. It's go time for our Great Getaway Sales event happening November 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're rolling out the year's best deals on Forest River RVs, including our top brands like Puma, Rockwood, Surveyor, Avenger, R-Pod, and more. If you've been dreaming about getting into camping, now's the perfect time with unbeatable savings on brand new campers and RVs. Come see us at Cedar City RV, 1102 Sparta Pike in Lebanon, or visit us at cedarcityrv.com.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford. Come visit our location at 1780 Franklin Road. We have over 300 vehicles to choose from, a state-of-the-art service department, free pickup and delivery. You can visit us on the web at www.tonybatesford.com or give us a call at 615-444-8221. That's Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, the dealer that will trade for anything that don't eat.
The Mill at Christmas is right around the corner. It's a magical time of year where shopping and family fun are under one roof. November 7th and 8th at the Mill at Lebanon. Thousands of holiday gift ideas. New this year, free admission both days. If you want to enter the Jingle and Mingle Lounge Friday night, it's only $10. Saturday is packed with fun with more shopping, Kids Corner, Santa, and more. See you at the Mill November 7th and 8th.
And that now goes with...
And we continue here on a Thursday morning. We have Ward 6 Council Member Phil Moorhead. And the Tuesday night meeting, that was on first reading.
Yes, sir.
Second reading, I believe, is supposed to be at your next meeting.
It will
there
be.
can be some people can change their mind. There can be some other things that may be even brought to the table regarding this.
Right. I don't know exactly what will happen on second reading. My intention would be to bring my motion again to where it is a grandfather for all existing buildings, all existing properties. And if it gets shot down, then I suspect the amendment that Joey made at first reading that just says we're taking out all the new industrial zoning code and replacing it with the existing, then that's probably what will happen. But I don't think that's the best interest of the city at heart. But
does this need to be studied some more? Does second reading even need to be put off? Maybe you can't, but I'm wondering, has this? Although the mayor indicated yesterday that this had been studied quite a bit.
You know what? That's not a bad thought. It could be deferred, I believe. So if the mayor were to call another work session to say, hey, let's see if we can all agree on something, as I said off the air, is that the council people are not allowed to discuss privately. We can only discuss anything publicly. So either a work session or at a city council meeting is the only time we can really discuss something that we're going to vote on. So maybe another work session is belabored. This would be putting it off again. At least might be a good thing to say, hey, this is what these amendments are, and maybe we can come to some agreement before it goes to council for a second reading.
Did you have input from both sides of this? Were there a number of people that came to you with their point of view prior to the Tuesday night?
Absolutely. When we had our first work session about this, I initially was only in favor of existing structures. There are people that I know that have buildings in town that were afraid that we were going to take away. They're using them as warehouses. We're afraid we would take that away. And I always wanted to grandfather any existing building that's up. But between some of those work sessions and before we came to first vote, realized there were a lot of people who had made investments in property, had already done some legwork and looking for investors and marketing their properties as what was available to be. I didn't feel it was right to take that away from them. They bought that with a code in place. They had an idea in mind, and everything they were doing was by the book. So then I decided that for me personally, those people need to be included in that group that's grandfathered. Mm-hmm. Anybody that doesn't have an industrial zoning today, if you go buy that land and this new code is adopted, you know what class you have to ask for up front. And those people, I have no problem with saying the new code would apply to you.
Okay, well, let's move on. What else is happening in your area of town? I think you've got a few things you wanted, some talking points, if you will.
Well, you know what? I did want to talk about people. I know that since Mayor Bell got elected and I got elected, people have been talking about restaurants and new things coming. And I was just sitting down last night trying to think of all the new things that are coming to Lebanon. And I'm so excited that, Aubrey's is having, they opened in April. And I drive by there multiple times a day. That place is packed every time at lunch, every time at dinner, which I'm thrilled about. In-N-Out Burger is going to open up soon. Chipotle's going to open up on 109. Jonathan's Grill is going to open up at Hartman, where Barton Village Drive is over there, be part of the new Del Webb. We have a new Tim Horton coming on. We have the new trailer park just next to East Nashville Brewworks, just opened up in the last few days. And my wife and I were there again last night for dinner. And it's fantastic. I think it's a great incubator for restaurants who are not sure if they ever want to invest in brick and mortar. So you've got 10 or 12 places there. You have a food truck. And I think you can gauge what the public support is of your product. I think it's fantastic. It's very family friendly. We saw all kinds of little kids running around. Beautiful building that is spotless. If they keep that up, I think everybody's going to absolutely love the place. I'm really excited about that. But we just have a lot going on. Sam's Club, obviously, we believe will be open in 26. There's discussion with another large retailer that I believe everybody is aware that Target is looking to be right next door to Sam's Club. The GOAT is going to go on South Hartman by Barton Village. So we have a lot going on, and I'm really excited to see all these things coming.
Yeah, you mentioning those restaurants. I've just got to mention this. It's a little bit sad to some of us that Gondola is going out of business. I think it's maybe this weekend. But
I just heard that. I don't know the details of that, but I did just hear that, and that is sad to hear.
They're going out with a bang. The parking lot's been full. I know since last Saturday night.
That is sad. You don't ever want to lose anybody, and I think this town is growing fast enough that there is enough demand, I believe, to keep everybody going. So I'm not sure the particulars, if they just aren't getting the customers in there that they need. And
they've been at it for a long time. Maybe it's just they just decided it's time to hang it up.
Right, and I don't know the answer to that. But
well, we got 4 or 5 minutes left here this morning. What anything in particular for your ward other than what we've already talked about?
A couple things. I've been meeting with a lot of the HOAs. Probably because it's the newer part of town as well, almost all of my neighborhoods are HOAs. The River Oaks across the street, the townhomes, I'm working with those folks to try to get the developer to do what they promised they do. I've been working with Spence Creek because they've had problems with their developer, trying to hold their feet to the fire to get things done so it can be released to them. And I feel real good about working with all these different HOAs. Richmond Hills had a real issue with speeding, so we got together, met with them, and put some striping there to try to slow people down. So when I ran for office, I remember Jenny Brinkman telling me that, if you run for office, if to do this job right takes a lot of time, and boy, she wasn't kidding. So I don't know that I could do this job to the extent that I do unless I was retired, and thank God that I am. So maybe in my ward I even spend more time than may be necessary, but I have the time. I enjoy what I do, and actually my term is up next fall. I fully intend to run for re-election in 2026, and hope I have the support of all those HOAs that I've been working with that I will get another term.
Well, I'm sure you pay attention to the purse strings, to the budget, where we are. Of course, we had this the garbage issue where everybody now pays for $20 a month, I believe it is, for the garbage pickup. But from what I've been able to see, we have good reserves that we're in pretty good shape, but we're still dealing with inflation. We're still dealing with special people, emergency people like firefighters and policemen and so on, that if we don't pay them, there's a chance to lose them and that sort of thing. I'm sure that's a concern. Maybe it's not on the front burner all the time.
It was a concern. And earlier this year, we did a whole big pay study, and we believe that we do have our fire and our police where they belong now. I've talked to the fire chief as well as the police chief. Their men and women, they say, are ecstatic that they finally feel they're in line with where they ought to be, and because we do have great public service, not just fire, police, but all the entire city. That we have great people, and I would hate to lose those. And I knew we were losing some because we weren't paying adequately. But the city has done well. There's enough growth. There's enough sales tax now. So as of right now, obviously there was no tax increase planned for this year. I don't foresee a tax increase plan for next year either.
You get. I'll bet you do get a lot of people would like to have their road paved. We've made progress, but there seems like there's always a rut somewhere or some traffic issues, or road issues, really that we need to deal with. We okay there?
We are actually. For a while, a lot of us thought that not enough was getting done, and we brought that to Kristen Rice and. She went through in the last 10 or so years all the different projects we've done. And then you sit back and look, we really are repaving a lot of these. They all have a life cycle. And even in my neighborhood, there's a couple areas where it keeps breaking up. So I get a whole lead Clark, and it seems like within days they're putting a patch there, taking care of it, because the roads aren't ready to be resurfaced yet. So, but I do think we're keeping up with it as good as we can.
Well, as we look at the clock, time is up. It goes by so fast sometimes. But Phil Moorhead, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Coleman. I appreciate
it. Just appreciate actually being able to if all goes well, have y'all twice a year, each one of you, 2 times, and sort of have a rotation that we go through. But it was actually we could have had you last time. You were out of town, but we're glad to have you today, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Coleman.
That is part 1 of Coleman and Company. More coming up. Please keep it here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator. Plus 0% financing. It's going on now until the end of the year. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's been a challenge trying to get past that Jolton exit all morning long. It seems like we had a wreck up there earlier this morning. That's in its cleanup stages, 24 eastbound. Again, at the Jolton exit. It's been slow go through that section of Davidson County. It's a crash out here in Antioch. It's being moved right now, 24 westbound. In Haywood Lane, it was there long enough in traffic to aggravate all that heavy traffic flow that's trying to get up through Antioch right now in from Murfreesboro on 24 westbound as they clear up that wreck near Haywood Lane. Stein Dental Care in Nashville has over 350 5-star wonderful Google reviews. Call Stein Dental Care today in Nashville. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Ready to sell and don't want the hassle of showings but still want top dollar? Auction is the answer. A.G. & Johnson Auctioneers have over 205 years of fast-talking experience. $75,000, $80,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. We excel in residential, commercial, equipment sales, and personal property sales. Our auctions are customized for your specific need. We've set our marketing plans for you personally for every sale. Visit our website at agandjohnson.com or call us at 615-444-0909.
On behalf of the members of the Lebanon High School 1961 Blue Devil football team and all the other Blue Devil teams through the years, we want to congratulate Coach Gentry and this year's Lebanon High School Blue Devil football team upon their very successful season. The team members and the coaching staff worked hard to reach this time. We hope that the remaining games to be played in the playoffs will establish these Blue Devils as one of the best ever. This message is brought to you by the folks at CallisVentures.com here in Lebanon.
Lebanon High School football finished the regular season 8-2 and are hosting a first-round playoff game this Friday against the Warriors of Riverdale. Thank you to all of our sponsors, A.G. & Johnson, Callis Ventures, The Jewelers, Image 360, Bates Ford, Birdine Supply, Fakes and Hooker, K. Maynard with State Farm Insurance, the Salas Realty Group, Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, Shannon Speck Electric, Sports World, Rackley Roofing Company, Wilson Bacon Trust, and Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell. Kickoff this Friday is at 7 with your pregame at 6:30 right here on WANT FM 98.9.
Mostly sunny skies will continue for today. Highs will be around 70. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 50, and then cloudy to start out Friday morning. Showers and thunderstorms moving in during the afternoon, and some of those may be strong. Highs around 70. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions.
Part 2 of Coleman and Company here on right now a beautiful, terrific Thursday morning. we welcome Jay White to talk about A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction. It's located at 728 West Main here in Lebanon. Been around since 1977. Jay, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Now, you've been around since 1977, but you hadn't been a part of A.G. & Johnson all that time. But you came along and got into the real estate business, and lo and behold, in time, you're the owner of A.G. & Johnson. So you've, I don't know whether you got it made, but I'd say you're approaching that.
Well, it's been a while since I started. I think I started in 87, so I hadn't counted up the years but in a while, but it's been a long time. I don't remember doing anything else, that's for sure.
Well, you let Jim Agee and Jerry Johnson get things going real well, and then you came along.
So that helped, let me tell you. That helped a lot.
I did. That's
true.
Of course, you're a little bit younger than them, of course.
Well, I am.
Jim is still around, but you got Hayden, your son, and he was here last week, and I know you want to start in on an auction he mentioned last week. I believe is coming up this Saturday.
That's true. We are this Saturday morning. We're going to be out on Berea Church Road, right in the heart of Possum Town. So if you want to come out on Berea Church at 2493 Berea Church Road this Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, we've got a nice sale out there. We've got a lot of household items, furniture, tools, some farm equipment. We've got a little something for everybody. So come out Saturday morning and be with us. We've got some nice bush hogs, box blades on the on the equipment side. I got I guess you could say turning plows, just a lot of things if you're going to do some gardening work and those types of things. And then we've also, on the household items, if you're looking for any type of nice furniture, nice quality furniture, we've got, dining room tables, couches and chairs and lamps and floral arrangements and just lots of wonderful things out there. TVs, if you're looking for any kitchen items, we've got a lot of those items also. So we'll be there most of the day. Lots of linen. So come out and be with us, and some costume jewelry, probably some of the best costume jewelry we've sold all year, and a good quantity of it too.
Yeah, we noted last week when talking about this, there's something for just about everybody.
There sure is. There's just a lot of stuff. We're going to be a fun day out there Saturday morning. So come out Saturday morning at 10 o'clock and be with us out on Berea Church Road, right in the heart of Possum Town.
All right, you got another one?
We do. And then the following Saturday, on the 15th of November, we're going up to Alexandria, just right across the Wilson County line. We'll be in Smith County, but it's at 302 Holmes Galp Road. If you're looking for a tract of land, we have 6 great tracts up there. They range from 15 acres all the way down to 5. We got an older modest home on it that needs some remodeling done on it, but just some beautiful tracts up there. Have a lot of road frontage on them on Holmes Gap, Switchboard Road. If you're looking for a place out in the country to build,
that is pretty much in the country, and that's a rural area.
It really is. It really is. But it's it's not far. It's not as far out as it used to be. Is what I like to say. But
the interstate's not that far.
Not that far, and you're about 9 miles from the Watertown. I guess from the Watertown High School there. So you're not just right down. I called it Sparta Pike. I guess a lot of people call it 70, but anyway, I'm down Sparta Pike. But if you're looking for a rural area up there, it does have some outbuildings and some barns and some improvements on it. But just a lot of wildlife up there. This place has a lot of potential. So if you're looking for a tract of land to invest in, come out, and it's open for inspection now through sale day. So
and how many tracts did you say?
It's in 6 tracts.
6, okay.
There'll be 6 separate parcels up there. Yeah. And so come out on Holmes Gap Road or look us up online. The plat's online. Got a lot of good pictures there for you all to look at, and it's open for inspection, like I said, daily there.
And that's it for right now. If you got one more.
Well, we've got another one. Our next sale will be on November the 22nd. I'll just tell you a little bit about it. The signs and things are not up, but if you're looking for a stately home here right in the heart of Lebanon, it's going to be over on Cumberland Drive, right around the Cumberland University area there. This is a 2-story home. It's a beautiful setting. We'll talk about it more. Got a lot of personal property, a lot of fine antiques that we're going to sell there. But if you're looking for a beautiful home right in the heart of Lebanon, in a historical district. Just we'll keep you posted on it, but it's coming up, and it's going to sell right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Okay, so really, the next 3 Saturday you have an auction sale.
Yes, sir. We
and
do.
all of them at 10 o'clock on
all
Saturday
of them
morning.
At 10 o'clock on Saturday morning.
All right,
they sure will be.
Well, of course, you. I think you. I would say you specialize in auctions, which you really do. But it's not. You've got such a team of people at A.G. and Johnson. You can take care of whatever the real estate needs are, and everybody doesn't want an auction sale. A lot of people do, but those that don't, you can take care of them as well.
Absolutely, we've got several new listings this week. But if you're looking for a new home over in the Charleston County, I think we've got a new home over in Charleston County that we just put on the market. We also put some tracts of land, some 5-acre tracts of land. We've got some up in the Tucker's Crossroads area this week that we placed on the market. So if you're looking for land or homes, give us a call here and at the office. One of our agents will be glad to help you with it.
Well, just remember that number is 615-444-0909. That's been a number since 1977, I think. And
been
it's
around a while.
Easy one to remember, 0909.
All right.
And your website, too, will remind everybody just about anything you want to know. You'll find it at www.agandjohnson.com. So, Jay, have a great one, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you, Coleman.
All right. Thank you much. We're about 21 before the hour. Tim Leeper is joining us now. Tim Leeper Roofing, Mama's Metal Roofing, and Tim is here to talk about that and probably other things. Good morning.
Morning. How are we doing this morning?
I'm doing well, and it's good to see you, of course. You're just one of our regulars. We see you a couple of times a month, and we talk a little bit about roofing. We talk about things that's going on with your Rotary Club. We talk about other things in your life, mission that you're on, and I never know where to start. I just kind of leave it up to you. But it's nice out there this morning, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Today and yesterday was pretty nice. Yesterday, I put on shorts. I was going to the gym and put on shorts, and I'm glad I did because it was such a nice day, and it started out to be a nice day today. So. That's great.
We've got. I think we've got a front coming in, and expecting some rain and some wind, and who knows what else. But you got to take the bad with the good, or the good with the bad. But this is a beautiful morning.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice out there. For temperature and approaching 50 by now, I guess. Yeah. Well, what's on your mind, sir?
Well, we're actually, I take my grandson to school in the mornings, and so sometimes I miss morning Rotary. I probably need to talk to Grammy, see if I can get some help on the Thursday morning corridor, but I like to make Rotary when I can. But we actually have our annual Sneedville trip coming up to where we take the Christmas down there to a family in Sneedville, Tennessee. And Sneedville, Tennessee is just it's a poor rural area of state of Tennessee where they don't even have running water out there. As a matter of fact, the way that Rotary got connected with them is Greg Armstrong was doing the Run for Water program where they were doing wells. And Sue Ann, when she was the president, she got a grant, and they were able to have a matching grant from Rotary International, and so they were able to go up there and put a well on this family's place. And so that kind of got that started. And then when they got there and they saw what kind of poor living conditions they lived in, and the level of poverty, and this is, a veteran, this is, these are hardworking, proud people, but they just had, several children, and the level of poverty I haven't seen before. I've seen it on mission trips, but I haven't seen it in the state of Tennessee. And people think that, it's like this everywhere, that we have it in Wilson County, but there's places in Tennessee that still don't have running water.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going up there on Saturday, and we typically go up there and spend the night because it's such a long trip. And then we'll get up early Sunday morning. We'll carry the presents up there. And the food, and just kind of visit with them for just a little bit of time and come back, and that's pretty much a full day for us. By the time we get back, it's probably early afternoon.
All right, I've never been to Sneedville. I think I know about where it is, but isn't it kind of between Knoxville and Johnson City and to the north?
It's in that area.
Yeah,
yes, sir, it is. As a matter of fact, that's where they say that's where Morgan Wallen is from, and it is as rural a place as you can imagine.
Mm-hmm. Well, there. I don't know whether it's Sneedville. There's some other efforts have been made to help some people. I don't know whether it's there or in a similar situation, but it is good for those of us who are more affluent, who can afford to share our blessings with those who don't have much, and they don't even have water. That's they're pretty desperate.
Yeah, when you think about it, we just take for granted, just little things like flushing a toilet or, washing your hands, or taking a hot shower. And that's not like that for everybody. And so when people ask me about projects like this or, what do Rotarians do, this is kind of what I tell them. We do these trips like this, and we do other things in the community, just like the Lions Club and, our other civic clubs. We just kind of make our communities a better place to live.
Well, what's happening roofing wise?
Roofing wise, we're getting ready for like you say, there's front coming in, and there's a high level of winds and heavy rains, and we've gone for a pretty good while without rain, and so. When you go this long without rain, and we've had some here recently, but there was a pretty good drought there for a while.
So when dry for a good while, yes.
If you remember, it's like this last year in the fall and really in the leading up into winter, and then we got plenty of rain in the spring to balance that out. The trick is to try to get it balanced out. That's not how God works, and that's not how rain works and weather works. But we'll take it when we can get it right, and so. We are expecting high winds, and we're expecting lots of rains. And so, just be mindful of that. If you had leaks that you haven't had repaired, if you've had things that you've been putting off because you're waiting till later in the year to get them done, now's a good time to do that. And, we've saw an uptick in repairs over the last few months because I feel like that, financially people are holding on to their money unless they just have a storm. Where it's weather-related roof replacement. And so we're seeing a lot of people holding on to estimates or, opting rather for repairs versus replacements. Now, that won't be like that forever, but, it's like that today.
Yeah. Tim Leeper's here. Time for us to take a break. This is Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator plus 0% financing. It's going on now until the end of the year. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's loading up pretty good now on 24 westbound. It's been a little bit heavy up through there in the Hickory Hollow area coming in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. Still slow on 24 eastbound as they clean up that wreck near the Jolton exit. That's just been a mess up there. And that section of Davidson County, the Jolton area on 24 eastbound there at Whites Creek Pike is still running slow. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car or truck, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Hi folks, Mark Noble here, General Manager at Cedar City RV. It's go time for our Great Getaway Sales event happening November 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're rolling out the year's best deals on Forest River RVs, including our top brands like Puma, Rockwood, Surveyor, Avenger, R-Pod, and more. If you've been dreaming about getting into camping, now's the perfect time with unbeatable savings on brand new campers and RVs. Come see us at Cedar City RV, 1102 Sparta Pike in Lebanon, or visit us at cedarcityrv.com.
This is Dave Pahanish. I'm so excited to be a part of the 4th annual Sips and Sounds, Thursday, November 20th at the Farm Bureau Expo in Lebanon with my friends Terry Jo Box and James Slater for a night of songs and stories that support Wilson Rides Incorporated, a non-profit empowering older adults in Wilson County with safe, reliable transportation, food boxes, and community lunches. Get your tickets at wilsonridesinc.org or call 615-622-5557.
The Titans enjoy a bye week, but Sunday, November 16th at Nissan Stadium, they take on the AFC South Division rival Houston Texans. We're on the air at 11. Kickoff is at 12:02 with Taylor Zarzer and Coach Mac, Dave McGinnis. Houston, Tennessee.
Brought to you by Bates Ford, the City of Lebanon Gas Department, Steve Moe Plumbing, and the Jewelers. The Tennessee Titans on your sports leader in Wilson County, WANT FM 98.9.
Coleman & Company, thanks for joining us. Tim Leeper is here. He's representing Tim Leeper Roofing and Mama's Metal Roofing, his two roofing businesses. Tim's with us a couple of times a month. We talk about roofing. We talk about other things. And I'm amazed at you sometimes at how you can have really two businesses here, employees for both of them. You've no doubt got some good people that are in place because you can't be everywhere all at once. But not only that, you're involved civic-wise. You're on a mission, too, regarding your son who lost his life in prison. And anything you want to say about that this morning?
Yeah, we're actually getting prepared for, legislative session. What I have found is most of your work in legislative session happens in the months prior to. You can't show up in the middle of January when they go into session asking, somebody to carry your bill. You need to kind of pave the way before you get there. And so we've made some inroads, and Clark's been instrumental, and he's helped me, and he's been on the on my panel. No, that was Pody on the panel, but, Clark's been, he carried legislation, and he's connected me to some people, and, other legislators that want to carry, some of our priorities this year. So we're going to see how that shakes out. I'm hoping to meet with him this week. And
let me ask this, because, there's nearly always, if not opposition, there's some that are skeptics regarding legislation from time to time, and then part of their job is to look at all aspects, all ramifications of what a piece of legislation's going to do. But has it mostly been positive, or you have some people, some may just maybe not just totally sold on your idea. They have a lot of things to consider, and this is not something maybe they just totally want to think about, or they've got other things on their mind. I was just wondering what kind of obstacles you're running up against, if any.
Well, we are running into some obstacles. Tennessee is, the mentality is tough on crime, but what I'm trying to get across to our legislators is we have to be smart on crime, because being tough on crime comes at a financial burden. And being smart on crime is fiscally responsible. And so there's a difference between the two. And also, when you look at the state of the conditions of our prison, when people do something, we don't advocate for criminal activity. We don't advocate against prisons. What we do advocate for is smart criminal justice, and the punishment should fit the crime. And when you go to prison, that's the penalty, and that's the debt that you owe society because you've broken one of its laws. But what should be afforded you is the chance to be better by the own name that we have for our Tennessee Department of Corrections. By definitions, corrections means to make better than it was before. And so we're just not doing a lot of correcting while we're in those prisons. And so it's very, it's devolved into a very animalistic society where we throw all of our people good, bad, and ugly. Anybody that has a substance abuse problem, that's the end of the road for them. Anybody that has mental health issues that don't have the family that can help them through some of those things, that's the end of the road for them. And so you have a lot of men in there that could be salvaged otherwise with different programming, but they find their way into a prison where it's the catch-all. It's basically a mixing bowl, and whatever happens is whatever happens. They don't really put a lot of time and effort and thought into these men not coming back into our communities in a better position. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is just be the mouthpiece for that and say, not only can we bring humanity into this conversation, but we can also have better offenders come back to us, but we have to do some of the work and allow them the programming to be better.
Well, there's no doubt that you knew some of this previous to what happened, but it seems like in observing you, my watching you and seeing your actions and keeping up with this a little bit, that this has been really an eye-opener for you, and that it has even changed your life and some of what means a lot to you. That you're on a mission that you weren't on before. Is that true?
That's fair, because, when you have a loved one that's incarcerated, be it a county jail or a prison, you think to yourself, gosh, this is really bad. But nobody cares, honestly, because it's not their loved one. And if it were their loved one, they would have more compassion and empathy towards, what kind of conditions they have to live in. But I realized that it was bad. I just didn't know how bad. And here's the problem. When something like this happens, you realize it was inevitable in many of these cases that some of these preventable deaths are happening, because we just have such a poor correction system in our state. But here's the thing. We're no different than some other states, but there's room for improvement. And I just look to our neighbors to the east, Virginia, for example. Virginia's doing so many things well in their corrections department that they have their recidivism rate under 18%. Our recidivism rate's about 35% right now, according to the latest, commissioner put out statistical abstract every year.
Twice as much.
It's twice as much, and it's going up. It's trending upwards. We're up 20% over the last 2 years, and so we're going in the wrong directions. We have more assaults on staff. We have, more of these violent incidences. The death rates are kind of stable. They're about what they always are. And the number of inmates are stable right now. Now, that will go up, with some of the sentencing laws that we have on the books. But again, the goal is, how do we spend the dollars that we have allocated for the TDOC looking out 20 years down the road? Do we want to just build prisons for the next 20 years? We're missing the trend, because nationwide the needle is moving in a different direction. We're seeing other states do smart corrections departments. And I'll tell you what I mean. Oklahoma's divested completely out of privatization. They did that last year. Virginia divested out of privatization completely and took it over. State controlled their last private prison, and they also closed 3 other prisons, and they've consolidated those places so that they can get everybody in more focused areas. And they also have what they call the Virginia model, where they're giving incentives to go into these pods to not have write-ups, to not get drug tested and fail those drug tests. And they're doing little things like, you have a different menu options in those prisons. You have more opportunity for rehabilitative programming. You have more opportunities for a bigger library. You also have, they're better mattresses. And I always say that we're not advocating for better mattresses, but you would be surprised what somebody would do or wouldn't do, for a better mattress or a different food option. And what we've saw is 100% of their overdoses and overdose deaths, they've reduced them by 100%. They've reduced their violent assaults on other inmates by 100%. And they've reduced a numerous failed drug tests by 94%. confiscated cell phones by 75%. They're bringing that down because they're leaning in and treating people like human beings and saying, hey, we understand that you made a mistake, but it doesn't have to define you if you don't want to let it define you. And so you can be better and have a different future. We're going to give you the tools. You're going to lean in and do some of these things, but we're going to give you some incentive to be better, to stab less people. You know, it sounds like a novel idea. If you act right, we'll treat you accordingly. You know, we won't treat you like a dog in a cage. And that goes a long way for these guys. And who knew you just treat somebody like a human being and you get more out of them?
That's it's kind of a different approach to what we've. I want to think especially what prisons have been like historically. Now, maybe county jails are a little bit different. You usually not there that long for one thing, but somebody's going to be 3 or 4 years or longer in prison, and there's really the old way is not a lot of hope. And the other things you mentioned here, since that, and I don't know how much we had drugs 50, 100 years ago, but that's a big problem in prisons, and the drug trafficking even involving that. And you've gotten into that, brought that to light. I wasn't aware of some of this till you started talking about it.
Yeah, no, we have. We've, you know, our family is suing Core Civic currently, and typically those lawsuits are thrown out in summary judgment. But our lawsuit made it through by a federal judge. He said, you don't get to, you know, operate like this. You had a chance to cut the head off the snake. You didn't do it. And this is what happened. So we're going to let some people out of the lawsuit that probably shouldn't be in there, but we're keeping the warden, the assistant warden, and Core Civic on the hook. You're going to have to answer for the things that have been done in this prison.
All right, just a minute to talk about roofing, and we'll wrap it up this morning. But you do the metal roofs, and you also do the conventional type roofs, shingles, and you're ready to do repair work or maintenance roofing.
Well, we're ready to do either. You know, if you find that storm comes through and it blows, you know, shingles off, or, you know, if we ended up with some hail, you know, give us a call. We're happy to handle those. We can do temporary repairs, but we also can do repairs. I'm just as happy to do a repair as I am a replacement, because if I can make you happy, and I can take care of your problem and save you several $1,000s and not have to replace your roof, you're probably going to give me a shot to come back and do the roof when the time comes.
All right, well, write this phone number down. Tim Leeper Roofing, Mama's Metal Roofing, 615-372-4713, 372-4713. Tim, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for a Thursday. Please join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a tremendous day.